In today's video, I'm going to share with you how steepening your backswing could help you shallow your downswing. Make sure you check out this video. Jon Watts here from the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me in our indoor golf studio, and today's video, as I mentioned there in the intro, is all going to be about your backswing to your downswing plane. We're going to be discussing steepening your backswing to help you shallow your downswing correctly. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you hit the little bell as well, just coming up on the bottom of the screen here, it notifies you every time a new video goes live, at least 2 instructional videos a week. Right now, we're going to jump into this one. So the only issue was there, I hit it too far. I gained a bit of distance. That is a long 6-iron for me. I've flown that 186. It wouldn't run perhaps that much. I've got the green a bit softer, the fairway a little bit bouncier, but flying 186, it showed it finishing 199. I wouldn't expect quite that much run and roll out there, maybe only 5 yards. But that was a long 6-iron for me. I definitely generate a little bit more speed when I'm changing my path and trying to feel a little steeper in the backswing, a little shallower in the downswing. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 2 real simple exercises to help you do that. Now, the reason we want this is key for those golfers trying to shallow their downswings. That is trying to allow the club shaft to feel like it drops a little bit. That golfer who needs that will be one who is pulling down and getting that club shaft too steep. Often when they're pulling down, they're getting the lead wrist in a cup position, which is opening the club face. Open faces are going to be hitting for a right-handed player out to the right, left-hander out to the left. Losing a lot of distance, very inefficient, unless of course we flip our hands, and then we just get a whole world of trouble, really, real inconsistencies. One of the most common swing faults we see as coaches is a player who gets the club coming too much in around them in the backswing and then too steep on the downswing. So if this is you, you'll generally struggle with pulls, fades, slices. So this movement of trying to go steeper back, shallower down is really going to help you, because we tend to work in opposites. If we come too much in around our body, our pressure tends to go into our heels, our shoulders turn too flat, then they have to steep and our pressure goes to our toes. It's that equal opposite reaction. So we want to almost feel like the club works a little bit more up to help us work a little bit more down in the downswing. And the reason I generate more speed from there is I effectively get the club traveling on a slightly longer path. It has more time to accelerate into impact. When we're actually attacking the ball from here, which can feel very powerful, we actually get the club down to the ground sooner than we would if we actually send it in this way, in this shallowing movement in the downswing. So we want more time to allow the club to accelerate. Now the first drill is just going to be using a tour stick and alignment cane. I have got one that slides into the end of the club. I'm just going to demonstrate as if you might at home. Now you could tape these to the golf club, and there are devices and training aids you can get out there where they actually clip onto the end of the golf club that work really well. What we're going to do is put a golf ball down, and I'm just going to use another alignment cane. You don't need this, but I just thought this may help for demonstration purposes. If I lie that alignment cane actually on my ball to target line, okay, so middle of my putt out mat, and I've got this tour stick behind me here. The cane is going to go up the lead side of the golf club, so close as the target, and under my lead armpit, and just grip the club as best you can. Now what you're going to try and do in the backswing is make sure the end of the cane here points somewhere between the ball to target line, so represented by this orange tour stick on the ground, and my feet line, my toe line. I would just try and encourage you to still keep a relatively flat neutral wrist. So I don't want you feeling like you're getting steep but getting into a very cut position. I'd still like that lead wrist pretty neutral rather than the knuckles working forwards. but this is really talking about the swing path. So I'm going to be feeling slightly steeper in the backswing. If you're a player who gets that club coming around your body here, you would see it halfway back. This is going to be pointing way outside my ball to target line. So I want to feel like it's pointing somewhere between my target line and my toe line at halfway back with this flat neutral wrist, winding up to the top. And in the downswing, I want to get the sensation that I get the cane pointing even outside my ball to target line. I wouldn't really worry about how much. I'll just try and get that sensation of feeling, if you need this, that the cane is pointing outside my ball to target line, and I've still maintained that flat neutral wrist, because what we do not want to get is that cupped position with that open club face where the toe is up or the loft is even pointing, the face is pointing more up in the sky. So we're trying to get that sensation of shallow in the golf club, but keeping a very neutral wrist position here. So now my club is actually traveling on a more inside path to square, hopefully to in again, or it may be that you're trying to produce a slightly more in to out path and hit a draw. But the feel there is we're a little steeper in the backswing, pointing at my ball to target line. In the downswing, I'm trying to feel like the cane points outside my ball to target line. You can see that's allowed the club to feel like it's, or look like it's falling a little bit more behind me, so I get the sensation of it almost dropping. We do not want this pulling movement where we're getting very steep. So that is a great at-home exercise. Another one, I'll get rid of this as well, that you could do, and this perhaps is a little bit more doable on the course. I even actually had success with a golfer. I'm going to use two different tee pegs, different colours, but I had success with a golfer who liked this drill that much with a driver. He was able to take it to the course by teeing up in front of a divot. So he found a divot on the tee and he tried to go outside the divot, inside the divot. You'll see the exercise here. So I'm going to use the white tee peg 2-3 feet behind the golf ball, just slightly inside my ball to target line. So my direct ball to target line would be here. So I've just come inside that marginally, only just a couple of inches. And then I'm going to place another tee peg, and I'm going to place that around 8 to 10 inches inside that first tee peg I put there. And what I'm trying to get the sensation of is my club in the takeaway is moving over the outside tee pegs, this white tee peg in this situation. And on the downswing, I want to get the feeling the club is actually traveling more over this pink tee peg behind me. Now, this obviously could be anything here. And when we're exaggerating that movement, I don't mind you going beyond this, but these are quite good figures. So I'm trying to get that sensation the club is actually traveling more from the inside. So this could be a good one to take to the range and then perhaps even take to the golf course, trying to get that club going out, then in. I really want to stop there because 2 for 2, nice shot, finished a couple of foot away. As you can see there, that one stopped a little bit quicker, hitting the green, but it's still a good carry for me with a 6-iron of about 180 yards, soft little draw. Definitely got the sensation of the club moving a little bit more out and a little bit more in. I'm interested to see the swing path number there. We're hoping for a little bit in to out. So I got, and potentially a little bit more than I'd really want, but I guess I'm trying to exaggerate the feel with this drill, especially if you're someone who's been swinging out to in over the top, slicing it. I was 6.5 degrees in to out. The great news was the face was about half of the path. So the face was open by 3.8 to the target, which is close to the path by just under 3 degrees. That gives me that perfect draw shape. Started right, little bend left of target, and it got me quite shallow, 2 degrees on the way down. So a fault I tend to have when I'm not feeling this is I tend to hit down on the golf ball too much and hit it too low. So this movement and shallowing out my downswing actually helps my angle of attack as well. It stops me getting too steep into the ball. This could be working this for a number of reasons. 1, you just want more speed. 2, you want to shallow that downswing. Or 3, you are a player who goes in and then over, so the opposite movement, and creates fades, slices, pulls. This exercise is great because you can take it to the range, then perhaps you can take it to the golf course. The cane exercise I'd suggest is a really good at-home exercise, again to get the feeling. The only bit of or word of warning is to focus a little bit on the wrist angles as well, because we don't want the path to be great, but the wrist angles to be affected, because that is having an effect on the face. If you're new to my channel, as I said at the start, I'd love you guys to consider subscribing, at least 2 instructional videos a week. You just hit the little thumbs up. It just notifies you every time a new video goes live, and I'll see you guys next time.